Hi, everyone. Welcome to Game 2 tonight. Stearns Trailer, the undefeated champs from last year, about to take on Seaview Jeep. A lot of the regulars for both of these teams not here tonight, so we'll see how this one goes, but it should still be a good one. Former Monmouth player Marcus McClary had a huge shot to win them a game a couple years ago on the court, and the opening tip controlled by Alahan Demir of Seaview Jeep. Here's Justin Robinson. First shot goes. Welcome back, the perennial scoring champ, Justin Robinson, and he starts the night off with a three.
Yeah, if you don't get a hand up, he is going to make you pay. He averaged 55 one year. Just so talented.
As Durkak misses on the three. Here is Kevin Peichel. Has it on the left wing. He's going to pass it to the right wing for Parker Dorsch. Dorsch spinning, driving, and shot clock violation. Steve Peichel in the building tonight to watch his son play, which is pretty cool. It's a brand name here at the Shore. And it's 3-0, 9:19 to play in the first, 8:43. Manasquan time. Here's Robinson. Again, that same shot. Didn't get that one to go. Rebounded by Jordan Durkak. Durkak driving, cutting in, slicing through, and getting the layup. Durkak transferring the Rutgers as there's a three for Alahan Demir, and it's 6-2. Durkak again driving in three through, put up a shot through three as Kevin Peichel missed a shot. And rebounded by Tyrone O'Garo back for Seaview Jeep, 6-2.
O'Garo was one of the key pieces for Seaview last year. Him and Robinson, two of the key returners that are here tonight, started on that Seaview Jeep team last year. Going to have to play a pivotal role tonight.
For head coach Tyler Schmeling, it's 8-2 after O'Garo the layup. Inside, and a nice shot for Parker Dorsch.
And we talked about how Stearns went undefeated last year. If they're going to go down, tonight is the night to do it. They are missing a ton of guys tonight. Durkak going to have to pick up a ton of the slack, but missing Geo Baker, Moses Brown, Miles Kale, Shavar Reynolds, R.J. Cole, just to name a few.
As Malachi Harris is fouled, and he'll shoot two. Yeah, Stearns Trailer, and we'll get into that as we go through the broadcast, an unbelievable year last year. The defending two-time champions. Missing Jakari Spence as he transferred to Jacksonville after a good senior year at Monmouth. But it's really been, the story's been who they added in the offseason, not who they're the defending champs in all back-to-back years. So that's always something that I think people were going to look forward to. But you're right, not a lot of the regulars. No Shavar, who has played just an exponential role in their winning over the past 2 seasons. He's not here tonight. So we'll see how these guys duke it out as Kevin Mateo was fouled going to the rim.
And I think that number 3 right there in the white, Kevin Mateo, is going to be the X factor tonight if Stearns wants to get a victory. Played for RKE Athletic last year. Was a starter for them. Was a big-time scorer for them as well. Him and Jack Collins created a very good 1-2 punch at the guard position. But where Stearns is going to need help is going to be on the offensive end tonight, especially with a guy like Robinson who can put points up in buncheons. You're going to need guys who can score, and Mateo can provide you with that.
As he goes 1 for 2 at the line. Here's Robinson. Guarded by Gene Campbell. Robinson gives to Demir. Spinning in, nice pass inside, and a slam by O'Garo. Well done. Good passing by Demir and a nice finish by O'Garo. It's 12-5.
And that is one of the more underrated pickups of the JSBL is Alahan Demir. Was a overseas professional in Turkey, finished his college career in Minnesota after he transferred from Drexel in the CAA, same conference that Monmouth is in now, where he was an all-CAA performer. So he's going to be a big-time force in the middle. Seaview also missing Max Mahoney, who was a great interior presence as well.
Well, that's the thing Seaview didn't have last year that Demir's going to be able to provide. That big as Mateo was fouled again. But that big man, the big presence in the middle, they tried it with Chris Brady. It didn't really work. But having a guy like Demir who's a little more nimble, can play against those bigger players, I think he's going to be a fantastic addition to Seaview Jeep. And also, some of the guys Justin Robinson has talked about getting, maybe J.R. Smith, maybe Naz Reid, maybe Cat, all big maybes. You don't know if they'll come, but still, if you get J.R. Smith, even as old as he is and on the pro golf scene, J.R. Smith's a good ball player.
He'd still put up 60 points. But the thing is, O'Garo plays a lot bigger than he looks. Very good paint presence. Mahoney is obviously 6'8", was an all-conference performer at Boston University, but no one that really was that lockdown defender. They're hoping that Demir can provide them with that.
As Robinson misses a step-back three, and nice move by Dorsch. Parker Dorsch having a good start to this one, and a 7-0 run has cut the lead. A 7-2 run has cut the lead to 2. Here's a nice move by Demir. Hit the top of the underside of the basket. Here's Durkak slicing through, laying it up and in to tie it at 14. Steve Peichel's got to like that from his new acquisition. Here, oh, nice pass by Robinson to the corner, and that shot was blocked by Durkak. He tried to set up Kevin Tellisford, and Durkak, who's going to be a great player for Rutgers, said no.
Yeah, Durkak, the reigning NEC Defensive Player of the Year, also was the Conference Player of the Year. Very rarely do you see in college hoops a player being named the Player of the Year and the Defensive Player of the Year. So very impressive by Durkak. But Rutgers is going to have a very talented roster this year. 2 top 5 recruits in Ace Bailey and Ron Harper, or excuse me, and Dylan Harper, the brother of Ron Harper. And then obviously Durkak transferring in. They should be able to have a good season in the Big Ten.
As you get Ruben Acosta to check in for Kevin Peichel. You're right, and it's been a really impressive turnaround for a program that really, Rutgers as a whole athletically is really on the upswing. And they've taken that title from Seton Hall, and I know you're going to debate me on this one, as maybe the best athletic college in New Jersey. I figured you'd debate me as Mateo launches and hits the three.
Yeah, going into my senior year at Seton Hall, been a Pirate fan my whole life. I've still got faith in Coach Shaw and what he's going to be able to put out on the court. But Rutgers, you can't deny that the talent that they have over there, especially with NIL now, they have a lot of money to spend, and they did a great job. They've recruited some great talent over there.
They have, and listen, me over here as a Monmouth guy is sitting here and like jealous of both of you as Demir goes to the line.
But you got to respect New Jersey. You want to see New Jersey do well.
Yes.
And that's exactly what you see, especially with them being in different conferences. I don't mind seeing Rutgers do well. It's good for Jersey.
It is. And then Monmouth is close to both to us. We're Shore kids, and Demir goes 1 for 2 at the line. So really, the one Jersey school I don't want to see do well is Princeton.
They have a very good program over there, very good coach. But you're going to see Martini play for Stearns. Played
Durkak
3 years at Princeton.
Hits a 3. Yeah, Martini was a big player for them. And really, I have a gripe with Ivy League schools. My March Madness bracket's been busted too many times as Robinson passes inside. And a fadeaway turnaround is good. That one from Elijah Barnes.
Also had Jack Scott, who played for Stearns last year, that was at Princeton.
And a nice shot from Durkak. And Stearns looking good so far. They're up 23-17.
Off air, we were saying if Stearns was going to have a chance to win this game with how shorthanded they were tonight, Durkak was going to have to go for a lot of points, and he's doing that so far, being that catalyst for the Stearns Trailer offense.
Elijah Barnes is fouled, and will shoot one more at the line. And we're going to have a TV timeout. Game number 2, opening night at JSPL. A good start to this one, 23-19 the defending champs lead. Welcome back to the JSBL. Dan Yuzerski and David Smith, as Elijah Barnes has one more at the line, or has one at the line. And he missed off the front of the rim, rebounded by Durkak, who's gotten off to an auspicious start. Here's Ruben Acosta. That one's stolen by J-Rob. He can lay it in easily. Lead down to 2. Robinson off to a good start as well as Durkak tries to counter, finds Acosta. Durkak fell, gets it to Acosta. Nice pass inside, but it was stolen by Demir. Demir, oh, what a feed, and O'Garo on the slam. A highlight from those two.
The court vision that Demir has showed early on has been tremendous. Obviously had that one pass to the cutter out of the post, and then that one pass for the slam just now. We obviously know what J-Rob can do facilitating-wise, but Demir adds just another, just another
spacer.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell you what, and I don't know if you think this, but I like looking at him and looking at the passes he's made so far, I see a little bit of Jokic in his game.
Well, we got to see defensively how he is, because we know Jokic isn't the best or most active defender. Jokic is also one of the best rebounders in basketball, and he can also shoot the basketball as well. So we got to see a little bit more, but in terms of passing-wise, I could definitely see it. I think right now I see a little bit more of Şengün, because Şengün's a very good facilitating big as well.
But you could tell, it's something that the European, overseas bigs have, as that one doesn't go. O'Garo the rebound, back out to Malachi Harris, and that one's stolen away, and it's going to lead to a foul committed by Demir. But as I was saying, the European bigs, especially now the overseas bigs, they have a beautiful passing ability that you could see. They could make these passes look like it's nothing, and they don't really run the floor with that much speed, but it's with precise.
It's because it's a different game out there in
yes.
Europe. You see a lot of the athleticism come from the American players, and then it's the fundamentally sound guys that you see come from Europe, typically. Obviously, you have a guy like Luka Doncic. Not the most athletic player, but just so dominant, so fundamentally sound.
Exactly. And that one is off Stearns. Mateo touched it last. But the early returns, it looks like it was a good pickup so far. Demir's had a nice first quarter. And you can see when you don't have to have the ball in J-Rob's hands the entire time, it makes a difference as this one to Barnes. Up top, here's a three from the wing and a nice shot by Kevin Telesford. And he's cut the lead to 2. Here's Mateo. Works his way to the block. He gets it to Dort, who tries a 3 and answers. Rattled it in.
Got a lot of new names here for 2 powerhouse teams. A lot of guys that we're not typically used to. The only guys that we saw last year for Stearns are Durkak, Mateo, and Gene Campbell. And then for Seaview
Robinson.
Jeep, you've got Robinson and O'Gara.
Yeah.
Elijah Barnes was here a few years ago, but wasn't here last year.
No. I think he wanted to play, never ended up being able to. Here's Durkak. Feeds to Campbell, who rattles in a three. Well, you could tell the difference in styles. Like, these two teams play very similar. It's a lot of passing and trying to get threes, and right now Stearns is hitting them more. As Robinson gives to Demir, thought about the three, passed it up, and then lost it. But it goes off of Stearns, and we'll stay with Seaview Jeep.
Got away with a walk there, was Demir. But yeah, like we talked about in the first game, two teams with contrasting styles. These are two teams with very similar styles. Two stars in Robinson and Durkak playing through them.
There's a tough layup by O'Gara. You're right, and this is definitely not going to be the iteration we'll see from Stearns all year, and Durkak will be a piece, but as Mateo was fouled on the drive. But you have Shavar Reynolds, very similar, likes to take threes, not here. Moses Brown, who might be the most dominant big in the league this year, and will give Mike Amon a run for his money.
Well, Moses Brown standing at 7'2" and being athletic as he is, there's not going to be a single person that's going to be able to stop him. You might see Muhammad from Larson Ford be able to block a few of his shots, but just in terms of his skill set, there will be no one that will be able to compare to Moses Brown. But we heard last year that he was going to be at a few games and didn't show up. He's obviously on the roster for Stearns Trailer this year, but we'll see if he ends up showing up.
Agreed. And then the other two, Gio Baker is going to be a big piece, and then Miles Kale. And you just have so many pieces on Stearns. It's a lot. I'm interested to see how it plays out because there's a lot of mouths to feed and only one rock to share, as that one doesn't go.
And that's a great point that you bring up, but I think you're failing to forget maybe the biggest name on this list, which is R.J. Cole.
Exactly.
I mean, obviously Moses Brown as well, but R.J. Cole averaged over, I want to say close to 15 points per game on a UConn team that was atop the Big East when he was there. Played with Jordan Hawkins.
Yeah, Cole's a hell of a player. Nice shot from Mateo. Answers a three, and it's 39-30. So here's Robinson, a chance to hold for the final shot. Shakes loose for a second. He can hit from this range, and looks like he's going to try to do it. Trying to shake loose of Campbell. Robinson, step back to end the quarter. Didn't get it. And that's it for the first. Stearns Trailer hasn't lost in over 2 years. They lead after one. Welcome back to the JSBL. We're talking a little NBA draft here tonight. It's on, and Zach Eady just got picked at 9, the National Player of the Year to Memphis. That's scary as Mateo stops, starts, and makes a nice shot.
Jaren Jackson Jr. and Edie in the same front court. Ooh.
See, as a Knicks fan, I wanted him as Demir drives up the court. Robinson off a ball screen. Tried to get it inside. That pass was tipped. Stolen by Mateo. They run the floor. Peichel to the rim, lays it in. Stearns up 13. And you know what? The one thing I'll notice about Stearns, and I noticed it last year, is Demir has it all on the baseline. They find guys that play the exact style of basketball they want to run. Demir misses. Durkak grabs the rebound. Drives, puts one up. No good, but was fouled, and will shoot 2. It's everyone that plays for them, exact same play style, fits the way they want to win perfectly.
It's a bunch of guys that know their role and are just trying to win instead of going for the stats, whereas you see other teams that might not be the case.
It's very selfless basketball as Durkak misses on the first.
Have another high schooler in Kevin Peichel, the son of Steve, the coach at Rutgers. He's in
here.
attendance like we talked about. He currently plays at CBA, Christian Brothers Academy. So again, another bump up in competition for him. Playing against Justin Robinson, who once averaged 56 points a game in this league.
Probably the greatest player to ever suit up for the Monmouth Hawks.
All-time leading scorer.
Here's Dortch. Hasn't missed a shot as Durkak drives through some tough contact and leads up to 16. And this one's stolen by Mateo. Stearns having their way, and there's Durkak off the alley-oop finish. 48-30, and a timeout by Seaview Jeep in all sorts of disarray.
See, I'll be honest, Dan, when these rosters were given to us of who was going to be suiting up tonight, I thought this game was going to be real close. And I thought, if anything, it might have favored Seaview a little bit. But so far, like you said, Stearns Trailer is just playing team basketball right now. Obviously, the shots are falling a little bit more for Stearns. But they're just playing great, selfless basketball. Playing through Durkak. But just unbelievable so far.
Yeah, as 8:21 to play. You're right, and you think that, well, yeah, obviously Seaview Jeep has the best player on the floor, and Justin Robinson, he's been the best player in this league for almost half a decade at this point, and right now it's all Stearns, and Stearns finds a way each time. They just have these guys that, and we're going to reiterate it again, that play the style of Stearns Trailer basketball that's helped them win and helped them establish themselves as a potential dynasty. Haven't lost in a long time. As Robinson drives, cuts to the rim, and a nice pass to Demir, who couldn't finish. It lands outside, and here's Robinson, an open 3. Ball fake screen, got it. Shot fake, not a ball fake. And Robinson cuts it to 15.
And I think something that has been so important so far to mention on the success of Stearns Trailer has been the defensive presence of Elijah Barnes, of Parker Dortch, who has done a great job of shutting down, Demir in the paint.
Well, Demir had his way a little bit earlier. And then Robinson and those guys have been shut down as he misses the layup there. Well, the crazy thing about it is Stearns is winning, and most of these guys, there's another layup from Gene Campbell, and it's 50-35. Stearns is having their way, and probably everyone outside of Jordan Durkak isn't going to play in their starting lineup when everyone's healthy and back.
And if everyone's if everyone's healthy and back for Stearns, you might not even see Jordan Durkak in the starting lineup. That's how good this roster is.
And now it's obviously a big if because you never get everyone to come at the same time. But, I mean, it's something. Really, really is impressive what they've done. And got to give credit to the team builders of Stearns. And obviously, Shavar and Miles Kale have a part in that as well.
I think so does Durkak, being able to get all these Rutgers guys into the league. But if we are talking about the best starting 5 for Stearns, I think Durkak would be in that 5.
I agree.
Simply because he's a forward, is great defensively, has a high motor, when a lot of Stearns' great guys are guards. You have Geo Baker, you have Shavar Reynolds, obviously, you have R.J. Cole, Kale, kind of a guard slash forward, and then obviously Moses Brown if he's here. But you're not going to go with Cole, or at least I don't think you're not going to go with Cole, Reynolds, and Baker in the starting lineup because those are 3-point guards.
No. But, so, Miles Kale's definitely in it. He's been the reason, one of the big reasons they've won. You're not taking out Shavar, so that's 2 spots.
Kale and Durkak are both very similar players.
As Robinson speeds through, and a nice feed and slam by O'Garo to cut the lead to 15.
I didn't even see O'Garo running the floor. That's just great vision there by Justin Robinson. Just such a great player.
As Durkak lays it in. Just feels like Seaview Jeep is not playing much defense tonight. And Robinson hoisted all the way to the corner. They dump it down low. O'Gara was blocked, but a foul on Dortch. Now, it's always funny when you see guys commit fouls because most of the time you'll get the reaction of, whoa, that didn't happen. I didn't foul him.
You gotta side with the officials a little bit. I mean, they can never do anything right because typically they have the let them play approach, but when they do call a foul, they get all upset. So, and it has to go both ways.
It's one of those ways where one of those things you just can't win. Is O'Gara missed the first and misses the second, and then a putback attempt. 3 putback attempts by Barnes didn't go.
Barnes, another Princeton guy like you talked about. Played for Seaview when they won the championship in 2017. Played 4 seasons at Princeton. And then played high school at Mater Dei, which obviously not in business anymore, but were very good when they were up and running.
As Dortch rattles home a 3, and the lead's up to 20 for Stearns. Also, another guy you forget about with Stearns who played a big part last year, Larry Smith, the Brookdale guard, did a fantastic job of being able to jam Justin Robinson in that semifinal matchup last year. Another piece of so many pieces for the Stearns team that just makes it hard to match up with them on any given night.
Yeah, Larry Smith, a guy not back on the roster for Stearns this year, but like we talked about, similarly in the ortho game, the glue guy role, and that's what Larry Smith did. Wasn't the greatest shooter, got to the rim pretty well, was a good facilitator, but his calling card was really on defense and would really shut down any opposing guard. And did, like you said, did a really good job of pestering Justin Robinson.
Well, that's what they brought him in for, and to his credit, that's exactly what he did. As Pike will inbound, gets it to Durkak. Mateo, wing 3, got it. And the lead's up to 23. Approaching 5 to play in the half.
Yeah, Seaview not doing a great job on their closeouts from 3.
As Robinson lays it in. And it's immediate timeout with 5:03 to play. All right, we'll be right back after this one. Immediate timeout here in the JSPL. Welcome back to the JSBL. 60-39, Stearns, the defending champion, leads over Seaview Jeep. A lot of game left, but not looking too good as Durkak splits the defenders and goes to the rim, lays it in, and the lead's up to 23. Robinson is going to match him with a layup. A high angling shot from J-Rob, but gets it a fall. Here's Dortch spinning in, laying it up, and missing his first shot of the night. Rebounded by Demir. Robinson pulling in a transition, no good off the side of the rim. Who's it going off of? Well, it doesn't matter. Campbell saves it to Mateo. Mateo with three, nails it. And the lead's up to 24. And Stearns Trailer just cannot miss from the field right now.
What a pass by Justin Robinson.
So Garrow almost laid it up and in. Was fouled.
Threw that underhand with backspin on it. Right in the hands of O'Gara.
I'll tell you who I think Justin Robinson is. And like he's a little bit smaller than him and a righty. And this point guard is a lefty. If you haven't guessed by now, I'm talking about Jalen Brunson. Robinson reminds me a lot of Jalen Brunson, but just a faster version of him. Like he plays at a faster level, but the moves are the same. The passing is very similar. I see a lot of comparisons for number 8 in red and number 11 for the blue and orange.
That's not a bad comparison.
As Gene Campbell has it here. Takes a three.
I'm not going to lie. I also like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I agree. Kind of like a crossbreed between the both of them. But you see how, like, that's Jalen Brunson right there, even though Robinson misses the shot. Like, you could just see, like, the very similar mannerisms. And speaking of the Knicks, and you talk about college and pro-am leagues, that's a little bit of a reunion for them after the trade last night. Mikal Bridges getting traded over to the New York Knicks.
They're going to be very cool to see what they can do together. Going to be tough to beat the Celtics, but very interesting to see if this can put them over the top. They gave up a lot, so.
Well, it kind of feels like, and I'll do it in JSBL comparisons, like, obviously Boston's going to be Stearns Trailer, like in this league is Stearns Trailer. I mean, undefeated last year, historical season. I would say the biggest comparison to the Knicks right now would probably be Larson Ford.
Larson Ford, when they have everyone here, is going to be very tough. They have a lot of good pieces. Obviously with Pierre Louis, he's so tough. But I didn't hear much about Durkak when he was at Merrimack. Really impressed me last year and was a crucial part of that Stearns Trailer team. But he is just so good. Rutgers is really getting a player. Should start for them day one. Will be interesting to see if that's what Coach Peichel does, but if he doesn't start, we'll definitely get run for the Scarlet Knights.
Sophomore out of Colonia.
Also visited Seton Hall.
And Monmouth. Monmouth really wanted him. Obviously, he took his talents to Rutgers, to the dismay of both of us. As Demir lays it to the cutting Elijah Barnes. And the lead's down to 22. 67-45. Final 3 minutes of the first half. Durkak has it down low, lays it up and in. It looks just too easy. Stearns Trailer might score 140 tonight, the way they're scoring the basketball right now. Here's Barnes. Was stripped of it by Mateo. Mateo launches from downtown. Didn't get it. Rebounded by Stearns. It's Acosta. Here's Durkak spinning in, laying it up and in. Jordan Durkak like a hot knife through butter, splitting through the Seaview Jeep defense.
I like that. That's a good analogy.
Thank you. You know, I always said the great ones come on the fly. That one just did, as Robinson's fouled.
Robinson, obviously one of the toughest offensive players in this league, but with his height, struggles defensively. very quick laterally, so was able to keep up with guards. But when you're going up against a team with a bigger ball handler, it looks like it's going to be Pappas this year for Ortho. I mean, if Pappas is the shortest guy on the floor, Robinson's really going to struggle to guard a guy like Pappas or someone his size.
Or even Pierre-Louis. Napier, both of the Pierre-Louis were.
I don't think that that's the matchup that they'll give him.
No.
Considering how physical he is in the paint. But Mateo, not the biggest guy in the world. That's why they're able to match up Robinson against him. But when there's teams that are playing lineups with a bigger guard, Seaview might struggle defensively. They're struggling defensively right now with him on the floor when they have a smaller guard.
They have.
So that might be the potential Achilles heel for Seaview. But it has been the past couple of years. Offensive has never been their problem. Defense is really where they struggle.
As they continue to struggle, as Mateo hits it. And the lead's almost up to 30. Here's O'Garo, and Stearns playing good defense here as Barnes slips to the rim and lays it up and in, dunking it home. But you're right. I mean, that's part of the issue, and Robinson is going to carry his weight scoring, but having the size disadvantage won't help him, and he's going to try a three here and miss it, rims out. I'm interested to see how Xander Rice and him will play this year, because Rice did well when Justin Robinson wasn't around.
They're both ball-heavy, dominant guards. But like we talked about with Stearns, there's a lot of mouths to feed. You obviously have Durkak, Baker, Cole, Reynolds, Kale. But in a Pro-Am league like this, when there's so much talent on every team, it's going to have to be every team that has to learn to adapt when there's so many, obviously, ball-dominant guys on their teams that they came from.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Stearns, and I think that's why they won last year, because they did the best job of playing as a team.
Well, you saw it at the end of the game with Ortho and Jay. It was no one wanted to give up the ball, and then you end up having to play with Pappas, where if Pappas probably gives up that ball, he's got an open shot, but he gets blocked by Spence to end that game, and that was it. As Seaview misses the layup, here comes Durkak. He gives to Mateo, who drives inside, flips one up, reverse, didn't go. As 40 seconds to play in this first half, as Robinson splits the defense, passes to the corner for a three, is good for Telesford. 73-53, a little run from Seaview, and Durkak misses the layup. Here comes Robinson pushing the floor, 20 seconds to play in this first half, and lost it to Mateo. Good job as well by Acosta. Mateo gives Peichel a three. Didn't get it to roll down, and then a foul, a loose ball foul, will go against Seaview Jeep on Elijah Barnes. As Durkak at the line, got the first.
Durkak has struggled from the line today.
He has. Final seconds of this first. Misses. Mateo has a chance to have another buzzer beater. He got it off. Didn't get it to go. And that ends the first half. A dominant one for Stearns Trailer. They lead 74-53 halftime here at the Jersey Shore. We'll be right back. new sponsor, and we'll reiterate what, as J-Rob gets a steal to start the second half. Transition 3 off the top of the rim. Didn't get it to go, but O'Garo misses his putback and then gets that one to go. And the lead's back down under 20. A reminder, we mentioned this earlier, but the Lemuro Law JSBO will host its first mid-season tournament the week of July 9th. The Archstock Royal Rumble with a few new features, 32-minute games. Winning teams will have to play a doubleheader on their opening night. Results will count in regular season standings. The game will end with an ELOM ending, the ending used in the $1 million TBT. Game must end with a score. Target score of 8 points will be added to the team's leading score after first stoppage at 4 minutes or first made baskets under 4 minutes. Clock is turned off. Whichever team hits the target score first will be the winner. Game must end on a score. Schedule will be announced July 1st. Tuesday, July 9th, to be announced in the winners. Third place in the championship, July 11th, and then Wednesday, to be announced, and then the winners of those two games. Should be a fun one.
Yeah, interesting little addition that they came up with, like the in-season tournament with the NBA, but I think it should be a cool addition.
I agree. It's always cool when you can add high stakes. Now, obviously, I won't be here, which is tragic because I will be in sunny Aruba. But
oh, yeah, how tragic.
listen, I love to be here. I'm a team player. As Robinson makes it, and the lead's cut to 17. But Seaview Jeep did a good job starting out in that first quarter, really. Let's see if they can answer as Mateo, long three over the defender, and it's back up to 20. Strong night for Stearns. Still a lot of time left as Robinson didn't get that one to go. Rebound by Demir. He's going to make a nice pass inside, and then that one was blocked away. Here's Kevin Peichel. Passes to a cutting Durkak. I thought he was going to slam it. Lays it in, and the lead's up to 22. Now you think if his coach isn't here as O'Garo misses the alley-oop, Durkak slams that one in? As Campbell
Potentially, but at the same time, I think he doesn't want to get hurt either way.
That's a good point.
Know? So, like,
there's a layup by Justin Robinson, and Mateo answers attempt, no good.
We were talking about the talent that Rutgers has this year. Obviously, we were saying Durkak going to play a vital part to their success. Big Ten obviously really tough. Where do you see them getting picked with the talent that they have? Obviously, not a lot do we see teams of freshmen win national championships in college. It's usually teams that usually have more experience. But, I mean, where do you see them getting picked in the Big Ten?
So, my train of thought is, obviously you're going to have Illinois. They're probably the pick to win the whole thing. They've been the pick the past few years. They've developed into a great program, even losing guys like
Coleman Hawkins.
And Hawkins. Ohio State has played well. I believe they made the tournament last year. I tell you what, though, with everyone Rutgers has, I would put them at the second best team in the conference.
Crazy.
I mean, who are you picking ahead of them right now? As a shot clock violation happens.
I think Wisconsin is going to be tough next year.
Wisconsin will be good again. But they got pantsed by JMU in March Madness. Now, March Madness is a totally different beast, but I tell you, I mean, the people Rutgers has, and I don't think people everyone's going to talk about Dylan Harper and the other guy, I don't know his name off of my top of my head. Ace Bailey.
Yep.
But this guy right here, Jordan Durkak, keep an eye out for him. Was the best player for Merrimack, like you mentioned, defensive player of the year, conference player of the year. A lot of teams wanted his services, and he chose to play in Rutgers. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent that's going to be playing at the Jersey Mike's Dome. As Robinson tried to hit a three, and that one bounced up and over the rim.
Another team that I'm interested to see in the Big Ten this year, awful year last year, was Michigan. They got Dusty May from FAU.
That's a big get.
Brought over a bunch of the talent that they had, and also got a bunch of new transfers as well. So it'll be interesting to see how they'd fare. But
Their team, though, I think Purdue's going to take a step back. I mean, Zach Eady was so big for them, as there's a layup for Malachi Harris. But, I mean, you lose the best player in college basketball, which Zach Eady was last year. That's a huge loss. You talk about losing other guys as well for Purdue. They'll be good, and the other team you always, like Michigan State's always good as well.
yeah,
And
can never count out Coach Izzo.
I mean, you talk about maybe a top 5 college basketball coach of all time as
Bold
Demir.
take, but I mean it's not a crazy one.
I mean, the amount of years they've continued to make March Madness and the fact that they're able to find wins every year. I think the addition of UCLA, who over the past few years has had some really good players come through. USC, both 2 good college basketball programs.
I mean USC, now that they're getting
Oregon.
now with the new coach out there.
Oregon and Washington as well. Washington had a good year. This year won a tournament game.
Talking about top 5 coaches with Izzo, who do you think is in that top 5? I mean, obviously you got Wooden.
Yeah.
I think you
Dean
got. I
Smith.
think you have to put Jay Wright.
Jay Wright, you know what? Jay Wright, very underrated. He's definitely top 10, but I mean, I'd say then you have Dean Smith, definitely up there. Krzyzewski, up there as well. As there's
Villanova wasn't even that good of a basketball program though before Jay Wright, and he turned them into
he did.
The best program in the country when he was there.
As that pass is intercepted by Mateo. 2-on-2, and Mateo lays it in. And a timeout taken by Seaview Jeep. We'll talk about this a little more when we get back. It's a TV timeout here at the Shore. Welcome back. Technical foul has been assessed to Stearns trailer. J-Rob will shoot 2 and misses his first.
It's only 1 in the NBA for technical free throws, so only gets 1. In college, it's 2.
See, you know, me doing all these Monmouth games over the past year, I'm so used to the 2.
I'm a college guy as well, so.
Now here's my question. I don't know if you feel this way. I've always felt this way. College basketball or NBA?
It's not even remotely close.
Yeah,
Give me
I'm
college any day of the week.
I'm with you as well, as O'Garo missed a layup. Rebound goes to Dortch. He hands it off to Mateo. There's just something about college as Mateo didn't get that one. O'Garo the rebound. Like, I think the living and the dying of, like, there's not as many college basketball games, so you basically live and die with every college basketball game, makes it so elite, as J-Rob's fouled on his 2 attempt. I also got to be, from at least Monmouth, my perspective of this year, totally amazing moments to happen for Monmouth. I know you probably know about the Xander Rice shot.
Of course.
To beat Campbell. I was technical directing for the MD at Monmouth Digital Network that night. and just just being there, and you're like, there's no way they win this game, and then he throws up this miracle as Robinson hits both at the line.
I mean, I've witnessed a few moments as well. I mean, both of which are JSBL players as well. You have the Shavar Reynolds buzzer beater against St. John's.
Yeah.
And then you also have the Miles Kale buzzer beater against Kentucky, both of which were two of the greatest moments of my life.
As Dirk has nice rebound and putback for Kevin Peichel. His dad loves to see that. Here's J-Rob.
And going back to what we just saw before after Justin Robinson got fouled and went to the line, it's why you got to love Justin Robinson. You see those three kids in the Rutgers shirt in the front row all going out for high fives, and Justin Robinson went out of his way to give each of them a high five. Just truly a great guy. Yeah. Great basketball player, and even better guy.
Well, I've gotten to know J-Rob over the years, being a Monmouth guy. I work at the Monmouth gym. I see him there as he's fouled and won. And then doing this league here, and always takes the time to talk to everyone, beloved by still everyone at that school. Was easily the greatest player in the history there. And people love him here, and he's loved everywhere he goes, it seems like, because of stuff you just mentioned. Doing all those things and being a class act through and through as he misses the free throw, Dirk Kack the rebound. There's not as many guys that do it nowadays, and the fact that he makes time for all the fans, it means a lot to them. And as there's a three for Ruben Acosta, it means a lot to everyone involved.
Curious to see if he might get into coaching when he's older.
I could see it.
Because you could see he knows the game very well, plays it at a great pace, obviously very talented, and obviously a great leader as well.
I'm sure that if he was to ever get into coaching, that a certain school about 15, 20 minutes away from here would probably be willing to bring him on.
And I'm sure Coach Rice, like you said, would welcome him in whatever role it would be with open arms.
Well, they already have with Micah Seaborn, who played in this league and was also a great Monmouth player with Justin Robinson.
Director of Player Development, correct?
Exactly.
Yep.
And he made an impact for them this year. He did a lot of great work with Abdi Bashir, who was a sharpshooting freshman for them. I know you remember seeing him at Seton Hall. He did great work with Valencia, who you remember as well. Did a really good job throughout last year. It's 96-72 here. Mateo gives. Passing up on the three as Dorsch tried to slam it down and didn't. And here comes Seaview Jeep the other way, down by 24. 2:20 to play in the third as Robinson misses the three. And O'Gara was out of bounds. You hope for Monmouth at least that they'll be good this year, and I think they will. Life after Xander Rice, and he was only there for a year, but the impact he made on that school and that team, and I saw it firsthand, was just utterly incredible. As there's a three for Dorsch. Doesn't pass up on it there.
I mean, Jack Collins is going to have to take a big step.
And he did last year.
He did. The RKE star. Him and Nico Gillette going to have to play a pivotal role for that RKE team. But, yeah, I mean, Jack Collins is going to have to take a big step. Valencia going to have to take a big step.
Though Nikita Konstantinovsky leaving is a tough loss.
Where did he end up?
Notre Dame.
Wow. Interesting.
And I got to know Nikita a little bit while he was here. Nothing but a class act. He owned Stony Brook one day. He put up 25 and 20 against them in a crucial game as O'Gara, after a nice dish from Robinson, lays it in.
Even though they're down by, it's tough to do the math because it's that much.
27.
Robinson just always finds a way to fill up the stat sheet.
He doesn't turn it off. He could be down 30, he could be down 3. It's the same for him, and that's what people love to see, as he puts on a highlight reel every night.
That's why there's so many people in this gym. It's to watch guys like Justin Robinson. Jordan Durkak certainly.
As Peichel's three rims out.
Doing a very good job as well.
O'Gara gets the rebound. And for all the names that people were expecting tonight didn't end up coming, as Robinson tries the three, doesn't get it to go.
But they're still getting a pretty good show.
As Kevin Peichel tried to slam it down, was about an inch or two short.
Saw a little bit of a giggle there from Steve in the crowd.
Coach Peichel, yeah. As Robinson stripped of the ball by Acosta with 20.8 to play, and Demir will check back in.
But this is a scary sight to see Stearns beating Seaview by nearly 30 points when they do have Justin Robinson. Obviously no Xander Rice, but when they have Justin Robinson, Seaview Jeep should be in about any game. Stearns Trailer is winning by 31 points right now, and they don't have, most likely, 4 of their 5 starters.
Yeah, if not even 5 of them.
Exactly.
And that'll end the third. Durkak tried to get it to go, and very similar to what we saw in the first half of the Ortho game with that shot from Ortho. And we'll go to the fourth. 105-76. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. It's not very close in game 2 that with a lot of the regulars out. Stearns Trailer up big, 105-76.
Crowd starting to clear out, but been very interesting as we just got the box score after the third quarter. A very quiet 30 points from Kevin Mateo and a very quiet 26 points from Parker Dortch. It's looked like the Jordan Durkak show for Stearns Trailer, but Kevin Mateo has been phenomenal. 30 points, 10 of 20 shooting, 5 from 10 from distance, and then Parker Dortch with 26 and then 7 rebounds. Dortch, the Loyola Marymount alum, obviously in the same conference as Gonzaga and St. Mary's, the WCC, but pretty interesting to see him go to a school like Loyola Marymount, which is on the West Coast in California, when he's a Jersey kid. He's from Columbus, New Jersey, so.
Yeah. As there's a 3 attempt from Dortch, right on cue, misses though. Here's an interesting one, as there's 9 minutes to play. Should Gonzaga still be in the West Coast Conference?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, the reason why I would say yes is because if we're talking about a conference, you're talking about the school, right?
Yeah.
There's really not a sport that Gonzaga excels in tremendously like they do basketball. So I think if you put them in a conference like the Big 10, the Big 12, something like that, they will get smoked in any other sport besides basketball.
Well, there's some things like certain schools like Villanova is in the CAA for football.
But when you talk about that, like the Big East is a basketball.
Yes.
Like not only, but the schools are primarily known for basketball. So you can't put Gonzaga in the Big East for location reasons, obviously. But I don't really think that there's a conference that's a step up from the WCC, especially since they have St. Mary's now, which is a surging program.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco, which is also a pretty respectable program as well. That would make sense for them location-wise that doesn't have great football schools.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, even in the Big East for footballs really lacks a lot to be desired.
I mean, the only two schools with football are UConn and Villanova, and both of which are not great.
No. The Big East at one point, remember, had Rutgers, so it was a bigger conference.
Rutgers, Louisville, obviously Notre Dame as well, Cincinnati, USF.
Notre Dame since independent as Robinson hits his foul shot.
But the reason all those schools moved from the Big East was because of football.
Exactly. As Durkak shot fake, lays it up and doesn't get it to go, but was fouled in the act. We have a running clock here, as any time a lead's over 30 in the fourth, it will run. So 6:30 to play, and when we say 6:30 to play, it means 6:30. This game will probably be over in 6 minutes and now 25 seconds.
Which I like that idea. I mean, even though these are high-scoring affairs, there's obviously big runs because there's not too much defense. 30 points is a lot.
It is.
Especially in the fourth quarter. I mean, we know that J-Rob can put up points in bunches, but when they haven't been able to get a stop all night, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to come back into this game.
As Elijah Barnes gets a 2 and cut the lead to 32. Under 6 to play. Here's Campbell. Mid-range from the foul line. Didn't get the roll. It hit every part of the rim and just didn't go down. As here's Robinson. Tried to pass it in, a bullet. It got intercepted, and here comes Acosta. Oh, pass was a little too hot to handle for Campbell, and Acosta makes a turnover and then gets told to go to the bench. That's always a bad feeling.
Only 6 guys, though, so he's probably a little relieved. Could use the break. But both these teams shorthanded tonight. Same with Ortho. The only team that really had a big bench tonight was Larson Ford.
And they always have a big bench.
Yeah.
Approaching 5 to play. Here's Durkak. Tries an outside shot. Doesn't go. And a long 3 from Robinson cuts the lead to 27. And we might have spoken too soon about that clock.
Robinson very emotional. Appeared to say something to his own head coach. Still talking to Kevin Mateo right now.
I don't think he's been happy about how this game's gone tonight, as Durkak doesn't get the roll, and the rebound ends in the hands of Kevin Peichel with a fresh 14. Peichel out to Mateo, and they'll reset with 8 to shoot. Mateo, long 3, got it. And Mateo has some words.
Another thing we haven't really talked about tonight has been how good of a job Gene Campbell has done on Justin Robinson.
Agreed.
Robinson obviously has a lot of points, has over 30 right now, but he's taken more than 30 shots. So efficiency-wise says that he's not doing too great,
Yeah.
probably shooting close to 30%. But Gene Campbell has been a menace and in his grill the entire night, and that's been a reason why that Stearns has been so successful. Obviously, 111 points with 3 minutes to play is quite a lot. So, I mean, I think the real reason why they're going to win this game is because of Seaview's lackluster defense. But I think another reason why they've been so successful is because of the terrific defense from Gene Campbell. Because, I mean, if we're being real, 30 points for Justin Robinson in a league like this isn't really up to his standards.
No.
Justin
You're talking about a
Robinson
guy that's
averaged 56 a few years
beat
ago.
me to it. So, and the other thing that's kind of been a common theme, at least from what I've seen, is if you get up in his face and make it difficult for him to make shots, it really slows him down from the sense of an efficiency standpoint, is what you were saying. And this isn't something that's just happened tonight. Campbell's done a good job at it, but Larry Smith did it last year in the semifinals between these two teams, and it happened when him and Nate Pierre-Louis faced off. As Demir tries, his three doesn't go. Peichel tips the rebound to Durkak. 2:35 to play. Durkak having a big night tonight with the rest of his regulars out. Makes a move, drives inside, shot doesn't go, but he was fouled, and will shoot two more as the clock continues to run.
Yeah, with a guy like Robinson, you know, with how shifty he is, with how talented he is, and then he also has a really good shot as well. He's going to be taking as many shots as he can in a game.
You're right. And I wonder how Durkak will play. We've talked about when the regulars get back, because he's a hell of a player, really, really good. But he's got one shot here. How will he react to not having to be the guy?
Well, he
to
wasn't
carry
the
the
guy
load.
last year, and he took on that role really well. The thing with Durkak, he's a great defender, does a great job of boxing out, grabbing rebounds. He just plays basketball the right way.
Yeah.
And he will play in any role that he is asked of. And I think that he's going to be asked to do that at Rutgers, obviously, with Bailey and Harper. So it's not going to be anything new for him.
As he drains a three.
And I think tonight he's just having fun being the go-to guy.
And we're approaching a minute to play. Acosta will check in for Dorsch. And a turnover here. Here's Peichel. You might see him try to fire a transition three, and he makes it. Nice night for Kevin Peichel in his JSBL debut, and I'm sure his dad and Coach Steve loves it.
I've been impressed with Kevin Peichel tonight. Runs the floor very well. Seems to be in on every loose ball.
A good player for CBA, and I'm interested to see where he'll end up. He's definitely got some talent. Has done a great job against the pros tonight as a shot for Campbell falls, and that should do it. Stearns trailer is still remaining undefeated after a dominant performance tonight against Seaview Jeep. A heck of a performance for Jordan Durkak. I'm sure we'll talk to him. At 123.95, we'll be right back with the interview for Jordan Durkak and then the wrap up tonight after this. Welcome back. I'm here with tonight's player of the game, Jordan Durkak. Jordan, 39 points, 12 rebounds, really good performance. How do you think that's going to translate when the rest of your teammates are here?
Yeah, you know, we have a super talented roster. I know I've seen it on social media and stuff, and it's going to be good to, you know, play with those guys. And I can't wait to, you know, finally play with some really, really talented guys that, you know, I haven't had the opportunity to play with at Rutgers, especially, you know, Geo Baker, Caleb McConnell, those type of guys. It's going to be a good time.
You mentioned Rutgers. You're now going to be playing there next year. How excited are you for the next season to start?
Yeah, I can't wait, man. You know, we've been in there for 2 weeks now. We've been working hard. The best thing about it is that we're super competitive every single day, and that's gonna help us out in the long run, man. When you know that somebody's gonna rock with you in November when we're having a tough game, we're on the road or whatever, and you know the guy next to you is gonna run for you and he's gonna fight for you, we're in a good spot.
One last question. You guys were a little short-handed tonight. Do you think you're going to get Dylan Harper to come down here?
It's going to be tough. You know, the league rules is two people per team, so it'll be tough to get him out because we already got Martini on the team. But, you know, I can see what I could do. I can put in a good word maybe.
All right, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you, tonight's star of the game, Jordan Durkak. That's it for us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow.